Welcome back to another Everyday Builds video where I'm currently working on my house a little bit every day in the hopes that I'll finish all of my home renovations within the next few months. If you have been following along at all, yesterday I went to put together this paneling that's going to go around this column in my basement for this bar area that I've been working on for the past few days. If you want to see what I've been working on, go back to the videos before this one. But when I went to assemble it with some pocket holes, it actually started to split this front panel, so I kind of gave up at that point. I had to glue it back together where it split. And today I'm coming back. I only have a couple hours before I'm about to go golfing, so I wanted to at least put in an hour or so to get this prepped. I think I'm going to go with some dominoes to hold this together now. I'm trying to avoid any like face nailing because I don't want to see, nails, and I don't want to have to fill them because I'll know that they're there. So I'm going to do some dominoes, which if you don't know what that is, you'll see in a second. It's kind of a specialty tool in woodworking that, I'm sorry if you don't have one, that's totally fine. There's other ways to do this, such as face nailing it, but I'm going to go ahead and use the domino to try and assemble this. And then that's probably all I'm going to get to today before I have to leave. So let's get right into that. So this here is a domino, which requires a special tool to basically mortise out a space for this to go. And then this will be used to connect the two pieces of wood together. And the tool to do that is made by a company called Festool. That makes this machine here that, when plunged, pushes out this special bit here, which creates that mortise for that domino to go in. So the first thing I need to do is make some marks on the two pieces that are going to be joined together so that I know where each domino needs to hit for each piece. And this doesn't have to be measured out or exact, as long as you make some lines across both of them, then they'll line up. And dominoes are mostly just for alignment purposes. They don't really add a ton of strength, but they're great for making sure that your pieces get aligned. But I'm going to use them as an added point of strength to also stay aligned when I go to clamp this up, because it's going to be kind of odd to clamp this. So having those dominoes in there will help it stay hopefully a little bit more square and stay in alignment when I've got to clamp across this big wide panel onto the face of this. Might be a little odd, so these will just really help a lot. So I just did a little test. I did my mortise on both pieces here. You can see mortise here, and there's a lot of videos that go into a lot more depth on how this actually works and how to do it, and that isn't going to be this video, but I just wanted to give you a quick glance at how this works. So your mortise goes in, or tenon goes in the mortise, and then I just wanted to mock this up, make sure that I was going to be in alignment with everything. And then that one slides in to the opposing one. Just bumps in there and perfectly flush. I will give this a little sand, really flush them up really nice, but that's how it works, basically. So go ahead and do the rest of these and should be good from there. So I've got all of my mortise locations drilled out, and now I'm going to go ahead and assemble this, just a dry assembly, no glue or anything right now, just to make sure everything fits together good. And then I might take it down into the basement and make sure that it just fits as well down there. And then I can bring it back up here and get everything glued together. Clamping it is probably going to be a little bit tricky. I may have to do it in like 2 different glue ups, but we'll see. Let's just get it put together for now. I tried to avoid doing that because I know a lot of people don't have a domino, obviously, and I always want to try and avoid using, you know, tools that people can't really relate to. So I tried to do it with the pocket holes first, but I was way too nervous that I was going to split off this edge, which would have not been good. It did actually split. I think it was down here. And you can see that it came out just fine. I was able to glue it back together, and you'll never know the difference. But I really like this. I'm going to go actually take it down to the basement like this and slide it into place and just make sure that it's all good to go. And then I'll glue it up. All right, the moment of truth. See if it fits first try. Should be pretty tight. Oh yeah, like a glove. All right, so my next decision is whether or not I take this back up to the garage and do the glue up there, or do I try and do the glue up down here while it's in place? Because I'm nervous that if I glue it up there and these panels aren't square, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot of a give to this once it's glued up. So, but I think usually it works out just fine, and I think this panel will still have enough flex to it to where it'll still slide into place, and it'll be a million times easier to glue it up in the garage than it will be right here. But it's a perfect fit. Looks really good. I'm very excited. And we have been looking at the stain colors over here. If you saw yesterday's video, I put together this little stain samples stick, which has the smoke 5%, which keeps it pretty close to what it is. The Rubio Pure, which kind of reddens it up a little bit, but I think adds a ton of character. And then the black, which really darkens it. My wife and I have been talking about it, and we don't love one really over any of the others. I like the middle the most, she likes left the most, so I might try mixing them and making like a hybrid between these two. I'm not sure if anyone else has ever mixed Rubio colors, but I might give that a try in the next video. So stay tuned for that. So I decided to glue everything up in the garage, And I'm going to do it in kind of like a two-stage, two-phase approach where I'm going to glue the face to this big panel first so that I can get that clamped up with this laying flat. And then I'll come back in a little bit, a couple hours, maybe after I'm done golfing, and glue up this other side. And then I'll be able to just clamp that, probably just standing up. And then should be good to go. Let it dry overnight, and then get everything sanded and start applying finish tomorrow. All right, I got the first glue up all clamped up. I'll wait for this to dry. Probably clamp it up the other half. Clamp that either tonight when I get home or tomorrow morning. I'll throw that in after this. And then tomorrow should be good to come out of the clamps and we'll start finishing everything.